All right, today on the channel, we're going to take a look at Tunnel Rat from the G.I. Joe classified line. I had this figure as a kid. I loved it. I don't have it anymore. Again, it's one of my favorites, and it got disintegrated when I played with it. You got a digital render here of it. You got all of his accessories that he comes with. And he comes with a lot. You know, number, what is he? 83 in the line. That's what he's got there. Another digital render there in the back. Got a little rat there in the side, Tunnel Rat. All of his accessories and a little satchel there. And kind of like a, you know, picture there from a comic book as to what he looked like. So number 83. That's it. Yeah, so he's in a tunnel because he's a tunnel rat. Yeah. I'll keep this box for reference for now. So anyways, let's talk about this figure. There are some interesting things about this guy. So one of the things that, yes, I am prior service, but number one, I have never, I've never met a tunnel rat. In the entire time that I was in the service, I never met a tunnel rat. These guys are, famous for doing their thing in Vietnam. That's, where most of, their fame came from. So not that this was a down and dirty job. Basically you had to have guys clear the tunnels where the Viet Cong Viet Cong lived and fought from. So you had to have small, slender guys go in there, usually with a 1911 and a flashlight, and clear it out. They were really tight spaces. So the first thing I would tell you is, I remember Tunnel Rat had a huge backpack, and he has a huge backpack here. Do you think in a very confined space that you would actually have the ability to crawl around with all this? I mean, it's just me, but no. You would not be walking around with all this. Again, this is fantasy. I get it. But in reality, number one, it's a tight crawl space. Tunnels usually are. But I do get that, hey, sometimes you got to have a lot of kit with you when you go into these things, because then you're going to be self-sufficient. But if it's a tight crawl space, it's going to be hard to get there. So look up a picture of a tunnel rat. See if he has a ton of room there to carry around this elephant on the back of his back. Probably not. All right, so we'll take a look at these accessories in detail in a little while. Let's take a look at the figure. Let's take a look at this figure. Let me take some of these off real quick. Move these over to the side. Boy, he's got a lot of great stuff on him. So, anyways. Let's get this satchel off here. Move it to the side as well. His harness here is a little loose. I don't like this very much. This bandolier. What is it with the classified line and bandoliers, man? You guys love these bandoliers. Pop this head off and take this off of here. It's just ridiculous with these bandoliers, and you really love them. My whole entire career in the Army, I never put on a bandolier ever. I never put on a daggone bandolier. So anyways, let's put that back on. All right, here's what we got. A very highly detailed figure. I like that little emblem he's got on the side. I like his arms there. Very cool sculpting here. I don't know if it's reuse or not. He's got a knife here as well. Maybe some additional ammunition there. I don't know if these pockets are different. I do like the sculpting on it. It's kind of bare back here. Okay, maybe the shirt is kind of tight back here. All right, no problem. He's got his little handkerchief here, and his handkerchief in his hair to keep it kind of from getting too dirty, I guess, and keep the sweat out of his eyes, and then an extra one to, maybe, wipe all the dirt and stuff that he's going to be having in there. So there's what you have. I think it's actually not a bad deal to have a guy dress so simply, especially if you're telling me that he is a tunnel rat. I don't agree with all the kit that he's carrying, but that's just me, you know. Anyways, your opinions may vary. Let's look at his face real quick. Yeah, well done. Nothing too bad about that. Mine doesn't, well, it's got a little bit of a defect there, but again, I don't ticky-tack that close into it. Some guys do. It's got a seam there from where the plastic was joined together. Not bad. It's okay. Yep. Got some tattoos there. Maybe got a watch or a Fitbit there. You can do a lot of walking as a soldier. You do a lot of walking as a soldier. A lot of running. And a lot of hurry up and wait. All right, well, let's look at the articulation. Not a bad sculpt. Very utilitarian, very nice. I don't have anything bad to say about this sculpt. I think the colors are muted the way they should be, except for this super red thing right here. And this, I don't know what the heck this thing is, I guess to keep track of him on the battlefield. So let's get into it a little bit. Can he move his head? Let's see. You can go back a little bit. You can go to the front a little bit. There he is. He can come to the side a little bit. To the right. Go all the way around, of course. You guys saw me pop his head off. He also has a little bit of a butterfly joint. You saw that the butterfly joint does allow him to put his hands together up front. I think you saw me do that one pose at the very beginning. So that was kind of cool. He can strike a T-pose pretty easily. There he is. I didn't have to really do anything for the T-pose. That was pretty simple. So I do appreciate that. The other ones, remember the other ones we've had recently, I've had to push in, and he doesn't have that crazy indent that some of the newer guys have had. I think it was Lowlight who had a really deep indent here, but he doesn't seem to have that. So let's see what else. He has a cut at the bicep, which is normal. And I like how they kind of hit it, right? Double jointed pinless elbows. So that's pretty cool, right? He also has, let's see. Let me see, is this a up and down, or this is a dice roll hand? So double jointed pinless elbows, dice hand on this side, and a in and out hand on this side. So very nice. So far, no problems with the articulation whatsoever. He can do a little bit of this weeble wobble stuff, just like that. So that's what you got there. And I suspect he's going to have incredible crunch. Let's see. Yes, incredible crunch forward, incredible crunch backward. Look at that. That's what he's looking like. So yeah, very nice, very nice. And no issues moving this around whatsoever. So, you know, on some of the figures, this has been sticking. On Tunnel Rat, it did not stick at all. So very cool. Drop down hip joint. So that's very cool. He also has, well, it's standard, right? It's standard fare for the Joes. He does have a thigh cut. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting. Thigh cut there, double jointed, pinless knees, no issues there. I didn't have to heat it up very much. Actually, I didn't have to heat it up at all. Here's where it gets interesting. At first, I didn't think he had a boot cut because I would have thought the boot cut would be here, but he doesn't have a boot cut there. What he does have is ankle pivot right there, but then he has a very, very low boot cut, like way down there. You see how it turns there? It's down here at the very bottom. And you got to kind of work at it a little bit, but I don't know if that's better or worse. I have to play with it, tinker around with it for a little while to tell you what's up with it. I don't know. So I don't know if I like it yet or not. I think it's well done. I'm okay with it. So yeah, I'm all right with it. All right. So that's what he looks like there. That's what he's working with. Let's take a look at his accessories. Number one, you can actually take this stuff off. This harness right there, weapons harness. That's his 40. What is this? It's not a 45. That's a revolver. So that's what you got there, you know. And his knife. Pretty simple knife. Nothing special. Nothing to write home about there. Put that back. Slide that back in. Anyhow. There we go. So that's what he's wearing right now. This is also, you guys saw this. This handkerchief comes off. What else? I mean, these two things he's got. That's what he's wearing right now. Let's see. He's got this bandolier with his, you know, bullets on it with his ammo. I've never seen gray bullets. I've always seen them as brass. So he's got this. He's got what looks to be an M60 with the scope. Again, you know, there may be an option for this, but never in my military career did I ever see an M60 with a scope. An M60 lays down suppressing fire. That's not enough to lay down. You got about, what, maybe 15 seconds worth of suppressive fire with this. So maybe and the way this thing recoils, it's not like breathe easy and no, this is going to recoil so much it's going to be all over the place like this. You know, it's not going to be, I don't know why. I mean, maybe he has the scope. The effective range is, okay. So maybe there's some other prior service on here that are going to school me on the effective range of an M60. I don't remember. I forgot. But maybe he's using the telescope to suppress fire quite a bit of ways, and he's looking through that. That's the only reason I could think that he needs it, because otherwise this thing just lays down a covering fire for everybody. If it happens to hit something, fantastic. But otherwise it's just, you know, laying down spraying some bullets. So there's an M60 for you. One of the older, you know, machine guns. So there's that. Don't want to be the guy carrying this. You gonna get tired. And then he has maybe a weapon, an explosives satchel. This is where he carry maybe his explosives to lay down to, you know, once they, you know, maybe he hits a tunnel that needs to be blown up or sealed, or maybe he can't get through. And when you can't get through a tunnel and you're not able, well, then just lay down some explosives and seal them in. I mean, that sounds horrible, but that's usually what that's for. Either collapsing it or sealing them in. All right. And then you have the night vision. He's got a little night vision harness for his head. This is not functioning. It just stays down in the down position. You could actually just leave it up. You know, it does the job. Very good. So there you go. And then you have two flashlights. Both of these pop out and they fit right in there. So there you go. Again, this is actually made of harder stuff than that backpack, than Wolf Spider's backpack. So I didn't have any problem it staying on, but maybe that's just me. So like I said, this backpack seems to be a little better. Both of these come out. Both of these, these seem to be smaller than Tiger Force's Outback, these flashlights. And these don't have a transparent lens. They're just colored green. So there you go. And yes, when I was in, the flashlights look like this. That is accurate. This is what is this? A GP large? I don't know what the heck this thing is gigantic. You can't go into tunnels with this. Maybe into vehicle-sized tunnels you can go in with this, but not regular tunnels. That you just, no. But okay, whatever. Maybe he's on patrol by himself, and that's all he's got. He's got to be self-sustaining. He's on a long mission to get out there and get it done. Okay, ultimately, what do we think about this figure? You know, just tinkering around with it, you know, taking a look at it, I actually really like it. I think this is just me, and I might get some hate. I actually like it better than the Wolf Spider. I think Tunnel Rat is a better figure. I'm not so sure about this bottom articulation down here instead of a boot cut, but here's the plus. It doesn't break up the figure. It gives me the articulation and it doesn't break up the sculpt, so that's a plus. I don't like that this is moving around a lot, but you can put some tacky on it and it'll pretty much stay. Same thing with this thing down here. So I am going to take some points away from this. And I don't know what the point of this was. I mean, I think in the old version of Tunnel Rat, he had one of these, but that's unrealistic. When I was a kid, I didn't know, that you you don't want to drag one of these around. So anyways, so what am I going to give it? Well, truly, I'm just going to take away a few points for this jiggly stuff right here. And I don't know if it can even be helped, but I'm going to take away 0.2 for that. And the weapon was bent earlier. This one, it's not bent now. I just puts a little bit of heat on it and bent it back, and it seems to be holding it. So I'm not going to take any points away from that. I was initially, but now I'm not. So yeah, I think ultimately I go ahead and say that this is about a 4.8 for really, really, really good figure. Am I going to get multiples of these? No, I think I'm going to get two, one to rock and one to stock, one to, keep in mint. And that's it, the Double Up Club. I don't think to me, this is not a troop builder. This is a specific character for a specific purpose. And so that's where I'll be leaving it. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Oh, you know what? Let me do something before I regret it, because sometimes I don't remember to do these things. Let's compare them in size. Here's what this is actually smart. This was smart. Historically speaking, tunnel rats have been smaller guys because they got to fit in smaller spaces. So yes, him being much smaller than Daredevil makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. So he's much smaller than Daredevil. He's probably going to be way smaller than Destro. Oh yeah, look at that. Destro towers over him. So he's going to be definitely much smaller than Destro. He's a small guy, and as he should be, because again, you want him to fit in small spaces. So there you go. 4.8 on a scale of 1 to 5. Great figure. Like I said, I'm gonna get one more. Yeah, that's what I think about him. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all your support. And as always, as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep rolling it out. What are you guys still doing here? Video's over. But since you're still here, go over to the About section. Down at the very bottom, past the giveaway rules, should be some gibberish down there. If I were you, I'd probably go down there and decipher it. Happy solving.